Welcome back to MC Loving Movies. I'm your host with the face for radio, MC. For this episode, I'm recommending a movie that I know most of you haven't seen out there, even if you consider yourself a true fan of horror. This movie is a rare breed indeed, with a title that definitely raises an eyebrow and instantly makes your mind explode. I present to you H.P. Lovecraft's Necronomicon, released in 1992 and directed by Brian Yuzna, Christoph Gans, and Shizuki Kaneko, starring an ensemble cast featuring the likes of Jeffrey Combs, Bruce Payne, David Warner, Maria Ford, Richard Lynch, and Sidney Coleman. First, I would like to acknowledge the fact that I am not an H.P. Lovecraft expert. All I know is that some of my favorite movies happen to be derived from Lovecraft's work in some form or fashion, usually donning his name sprawled across the top of a movie title. All I know is when watching anything Lovecraftian, expect the unexpected, from tentacles, titties, sea creatures, and dark dimensions. Necronomicon is an anthology horror consisting of 3 short stories, The Drowned, Whispers, and The Cold, with a wraparound story to tie it all together, Lovecraft style. The fabled Book of the Dead, aka the Necronomicon, is the driving force of the movie, as H.P. Lovecraft lies, cheats, and steals just to read from the pages of the cursed book. Risking banishment, or possibly worse, Lovecraft breaks into a restricted area of an ancient secretive library, where old H.P. finally is able to read and take notes from the Book of the Dead. Which brings us to the first story, The Drowned, directed by Christoph Gans, where Edward de Lempour, played by Bruce Payne, inherits an old rundown hotel, stumbling onto a letter left by his great-uncle, played by Richard Lynch. One night, Lempour is visited by a mysterious creature carrying a large book containing the dark art of resurrecting the dead, so of course he uses the Necronomicon out of sheer grief, leading to his own demise at the hands of the undead. I'm just going to stop right there because I know a lot of you haven't seen this one, but trust me, the ending is epic and it's Lovecraft being Lovecraft. Cool Air, directed by Shizuki Kaneko, is the movie's next tale, where a mad scientist, played by David Warner, along with his assistant, live in a small apartment building where they perform sketchy experiments in a makeshift lab to slow the aging process, requiring his home to be at a constant freezing temperature just to maintain. And oh yeah, his experiments, they also require fresh spinal fluid. No big deal. Just have to remain optimistic, still and kill whenever necessary, in the name of science, but mostly self-preservation. Dr. Madden's rare illness makes it critical that he replenishes his stock of spinal fluid at any cost. After an intense encounter with a new neighbor that just moved in, they form a strange partnership/relationship, basically replacing his old assistant, where now she's helping with the murdering and other prep in exchange for the secrets of life after death hidden within the pages of the Necronomicon. The third and final story is called Whispers, directed by Brian Yuzna. This tale follows 2 cops, Sarah, played by Sidney Coleman, and Paul, played by Abba Babatunde, in hot pursuit of a serial killer named the Butcher. What better time than the present to have a deep conversation about their affair and the pregnancy that came from it. So of course it's inevitable that they crash in the midst of such a heated argument and completely total the car in the process. Suddenly, Sarah is awakened by a dark figure rocking galoshes, snatching her partner up out of the car and dragging him to a nearby abandoned building. As Sarah follows the trail of blood, she encounters an odd couple living in the lower levels of the building. Right away, you notice something ain't right with these two, but Sarah has no choice but to pursue the maniac in hopes of finding her partner. The odds are stacked against Sarah as she also tries to survive this deadly labyrinth that seems to lead to the depths of hell. Words can't describe the craziness that unfolds at the end of this story. Like I said before, Lovecraft is gonna Lovecraft, so try to keep that in mind for the big reveal. I 100% guarantee that you didn't see this coming. Finally, the wraparound story, directed by Brian Yuzna, brings the anthology to an end. It's one of my favorite parts of the movie, watching Jeffrey Combs play Lovecraft, fighting his way through this forbidden library to attain the Necronomicon. It's absolute insanity and truly something to behold. The practical effects and gore are top-notch, featuring some amazing work from legends like Tom Savini and Screamin' Mad George. And sure, there's a couple of scenes with some dated CGI, but that does not hurt the aesthetic of the movie at all. As you know, the Necronomicon has been part of several cult classic horror movies and shows. Sadly, due to funding coming from overseas, the movie was released straight to home video, making this a rare movie to have witnessed at the time of its release. There is a German import of the Blu-ray released by Wicked Vision, and it's a little pricey, but it's region free, and it's totally worth it if you're a fan of horror and collect physical media. So I suggest that you go out and do what you got to do to watch this movie, own it, and put it on your shelf. Thank you for taking the time out of your day or night to kick it and talk movies. I'm your host, MC. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Got some more episodes coming your way, so just be ready.
So I used the bathroom. I'm done.